These are not the tales of heroes. These are tales of reavers and cutpurses, of heathen slayers and tight-lipped warlocks guarding long-dead secrets. These are tales of gold and glory won with sorcery and sword, where a moment's hesitation is all that separates the victorious from the dead. These are tales from the fallen empire, an age when chaos seethed in the shadows and dragons began to stir in their ages-long sleep. These are tales of high adventure. These are mighty deeds. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mighty Deeds, a podcast of high adventure. I am Glenn, your game master for this first session of our new campaign. And going around the table introducing themselves are my players.
Jason.
Michael.
Carl.
Luke.
All right, so we have gone through character creation. Each of the players has 3 characters that they're going to use to start. 3 0-level characters. Why don't we real quick just go around and tell the names and occupations of the characters you're playing. Start with Jason.
I have Nigel, a dwarven apothecarist. I have Thorley, who is a scribe, and leaves them sorely. And Ishmark,
Ismark?
Ismark Kolyalovinovich. I didn't come up with that one. He's noble.
Okay.
I'm Albert, the Elven Sage, and I'm Verna, the tax collector, and I'm Helf Hafson, town guard.
Okay, so I have Astrid, the woodcutter, Algernon, the halfling vagrant, and then Irina Kolyana is a healer.
And I've got Ewan Von Generico, the squire. I've also got Abramovich, the one-armed butcher. And I also have Rudolph Van Richter, the scholar.
Van Richten.
Oh, okay.
Rudolph Van Richten. All right, so our adventure starts in an inn. Actually, it's more of a tavern.
Like all good adventures.
Yes, our classic old school adventure starts in a tavern, right? So the tavern is in the town of Barovia, okay? And it's so late at night that it's almost the next morning, right? And the townsfolk, the villagers, are very upset. Everybody is very worked up. There are major problems in the town of Barovia. And so the atmosphere in the Blood of the Vine Tavern, which is where you guys are, is like a town hall meeting when all the sewers are backed up. You know, it's just a bad scene. So the establishing shot outside the Blood of the Vine shows the town of Barovia at night, right? Of course, always in the establishing shot, the moon is full. There's a full moon in the sky. And you picture this late medieval German village, right? Cobblestone streets, the slatted roofs, and all that kind of stuff. And as the camera goes back, basically the village is nestled at the base of this cliff. And as the camera pulls back, the cliff goes up, and mounted at the very top of the cliff, kind of looming over the village, is this huge Baroque castle, right? Okay. Castle Ravenloft. That looms in the distance, right? And there's like right as the camera, say what?
I quit.
As soon as the camera shows it, like there's a flash of lightning, even though the moon was in the sky just a second ago, there's like a flash of lightning, right? And some bats come flying out of the castle. So if those of us who live in Tennessee, if you've ever been to Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, it's like that. It's this really sheer, like mountain of rock just standing there in the middle of this basically field. All right, so then the camera shows the inside of the Blood of the Vine. And everybody's talking, and everybody's angry, and everybody's, all the voices are raised, and everybody's trying to talk at once. So now I'm going to briefly pause the podcast while you guys get your background information. You are all, except for Luke's character, Rudolph Van Richten, you are all residents of Barovia. You all grew up in this town. You've all lived here your whole lives, okay? And so the handouts that I'm about to give you represent your background knowledge about Barovia. So there's disagreement among the townsfolk about what we need to do about the city being under siege by the forces of darkness. There's disagreement about whether Strahd is still alive or a vampire, or whether he died 200 years ago. Supposedly he was the lord of Barovia, of this whole area, that built Castle Ravenloft. And so some of the voices in the tavern are like,
the last lord of Ravenloft died centuries ago, but the crumbling castle is still under a curse and haunted by the undead.
I didn't get a harumph out of you. Yes.
Strahd uses wolves, bats, and other creatures to spy on all in his realm.
A vampire can't enter a residence without an invitation from one of these.
That's a lie!
Running water burns a vampire like acid, and sunlight causes a vampire to burst into flame.
We need to move up north where there's 6 months of sunlight.
Yeah, so you guys would know that pretty much your whole lives, Barovia is kind of cut off from the outside world. Okay? If you go far enough, you run into like this wall of mist, no matter which direction you go, and you either never come out, or your body is found dead in the morning or the next day, or you're going like straight down the road, and you go into the mists, and you keep going straight, and you find yourself coming back out, back into Barovia. Right? The only people who can come and go are these sort of gypsy stand-ins called the Vistani, or Vistani.
The Vistani serves the Devil's Shroud. They alone are allowed to leave Barovia.
Yes. So the Vistani are allowed to come and go out of Barovia. And you guys would know there's actually a camp of Vistani set up currently outside of the village.
None of our characters are actually Vistani, right?
None of you are Vistani, that is
Not
true.
all Vistani serve the Lord of Ravenloft. Those who defy him are protected by an ancient pact.
So there seems to be some question about whether all the Vistani serve him or only some of the Vistani serve him.
The Devil's Shroud is a curse placed on the land because of a forgotten sin of the Barovians' ancestors.
Barovia will never be safe until the evil in Castle Ravenloft is destroyed.
So you all should have that one as your last belief / rumor. So now, Dr. Van Richten stands up. Luke, I'm going to have to play one of your characters for just a second here. So Rudolph Van Richten stands up, and everybody's already heard. Now, he is an outsider. And he came into town just a few days ago, right? And so he stands up and he's like, "You must understand what brought me to your town. I was in the nearby village of Mulgnar and received this letter." And he holds up the letter. "Hail to thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Kolyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Kolyana Inderovich, Bergermeister." So immediately, Ismark stands up. What's the voice you're doing for Ismark?
No clue. Just this one, I guess. It would just be the normal voice.
Just your regular. Okay, so he stands up and he's like, it basically says that his father did not send that note. Would not have sent that note. Now everybody in town knows his father, which is also Irina's adopted father, just died last night from a heart attack, from the stress of wolves running through the streets at night and everything else, right? And you are convinced that your father did not try to get outside people to come into Barovia, because once somebody comes into Barovia, they're trapped here. And so he snatches the note out of Van Richten's hand and he looks at it, and this is definitely not your father's handwriting.
How dare you bring this false stuff into our town? You are dead! Dead, do you hear me? You have come to your place to be buried. Those who come in here, they all die or disappear. All outsiders die. Your death is upon you.
I think that what we should do is work together to destroy the vampire who is obviously in the castle. We must get our torches and our pitchforks, and we must go at dawn.
Strahd is immune to mortal weapons. You can't just come in with pitchfork and kill.
Ah, yes. You know some of the vampire's immunities, but do you know their weaknesses? They have weaknesses as well. Holy water, weapons blessed by a priest.
Silver weapons blessed by a man of faith, seer a vampire like flaming brands. We know.
Exactly.
It's not that simple.
Exactly. We must go to the local church. We must get we must do an arming up montage, and then we must go to the castle and destroy the creature in his den. We must
like better than a montage.
Right. I am promising the montage and then the destruction. So then one of the older characters speaks up. I think we should hear what Inspector Kemp has to say. And everybody falls silent, right? And this guy who's under kind of the balcony a little bit by the stairs comes walking out, right? And he's got very like a kind of World War I German sort of uniform, like with the big buttons, you know? He's got like the button down kind of jacket situation. He's got one of those hats that's kind of like a conductor's hat, but it's like more stiff, right? And he comes kind of marching out from the shadows, and he's got a fake right arm. Right? His right arm is like this sort of wooden mechanical situation, right? And so he goes over and he has this cigarette like on a cigarette holder, and he takes his right arm and he goes and he jams it down into one of the lamps, and he pulls it out and it's on fire. He goes and he lights his cigarette. He takes a couple steps forward and puts it into a pitcher of beer and puts it out. He pulls out the cigarette holder out of his mouth, blows out some smoke, and he says, a riot is an ugly thing. And I think it is just about time that we had one. Get your torches and pitchforks. At dawn, we ride.
Maybe not torches, just pitchforks, because they're in the morning. I can see everything.
The creature is vulnerable to fire, like all monsters of darkness. It's not a real riot without both torches and pitchforks. Pitchforks and torches. Yeah. Okay, so what do you do?
Okay, well, I mean, you look like you wanted me to say
Let's
something.
bless our weapons, arm up with some holy water, fire, all that, right during the day so we can maybe lure him into some sunlight. Yeah, get some torches too.
I think we must go during the day because the vampire, yes, he sleeps during day. He is vulnerable. Also, as everyone lives here knows, it is always overcast in Barovia. So we cannot count on direct sunlight. But we must go at dawn and storm the castle. Now, you guys know somebody has a rumor about the Vistani camp. I don't know, should be at least one person has a rumor about.
There's a witch.
The Vistani seer Madame Eva is a witch and knows how to trap the creature.
I have the exact same one. Ooh.
Okay.
In fact, I have most of everything that you guys have said.
What?
Okay. So there is a mercantile that you guys could go to if you wanted to buy any gear, like a silver dagger. There is a church where you could try to go and get holy water. There is a Vistani camp outside of town where the Vistani are. Yes, Jason.
The stuff that we can buy, would we be proficient with it?
No. Not unless you're already proficient, like.
So I'd have to get like a silver dart in order
Yes. That is correct.
to...
We don't have any money.
Only a couple of you have a few, or most of you have
Only
trade
if you
goods.
chose that character.
And most of you have trade goods that you could try to trade.
Oh, that's true. Hey, does my steel helmet give me a bonus to AC?
Yes. Give him a +1 bonus.
Algernon has a begging bowl.
You're going to put it on your head?
You think that goes for a lot? You think I could trade someone a begging bowl?
Oh, for trade? No, I don't think it would do a lot for trade. I thought you were going to try to wear it as armor.
No.
That's even better.
Though he might later on now.
Yeah, I mean, opportunities are endless for this begging bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a lot to spend. How much is a silver longsword?
You'll have to go to the mercantile to find out.
Yes.
I go to the mercantile and find out how much it is to get a silver compass.
So you all head down to the mercantile.
I'm going to the mercantile.
Okay, all right.
Then it's
So-
going to the mercantile.
All right. So, so the mob, as soon as the sun rises and the last wolf howl is heard outside, you guys peek your heads out the door of the blood of the vine and head down to Bildrath's Trades. So all of you guys would know Bildrath. He trades mostly with the Vistani, and he is not a cool dude. You get there and the front door is locked. What do you do?
This is a riot. We break it open.
No.
It's more of a Bildrath. Bildrath.
What was it?
It's more of a lynch mob.
No.
Straight up destroy the town.
I agree.
Algernon, the halfling vagrant, is super about this idea. He's ready. He's got his bowl. He's got his club. He's ready to break down some doors.
Okay. Oh, so like break into the
He's
mercantile?
ready.
Lean towards the mic while you talk. Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna knock on the door.
Okay, so you're knocking on the door. Are you trying to break in a window?
I mean, he's a halfling, so he's probably trying to go around back and like halfling beggar, so he's probably trying to get in without being seen.
Okay, I get that you're knocking. Okay, so you're knocking on the door and yelling for Bildrath. Okay, so you're around the back. I mean, there's like a back door. Are you going to try to like muscle it open, or are you going to try to get in? There's like a little doggy door situation. Are you going to try to like sneak in through the pet door?
Am I
yourself
big
killed
enough?
that way.
Is it big enough? Right?
That's what Algernon's gonna do. He's gonna try and sneak in.
Oh
through the
yeah,
doggy door.
yeah. Okay, so roll a d20 and add your agility bonus.
14.
Okay, so no problem, right? You get right in.
Okay.
And so, what is the name of Bildrath's Rottweiler that sleeps in the back room? Like Fluffy?
Yes.
So you get in and you're looking around, you're like, look at me, I can just go open the front door. And that's when you see Fluffy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Fluffy is asleep on her little dog bed, and you like freeze in place with 1 foot up and 1 foot down. And her little ears kind of just like flutter just a little bit.
Open the door, Bildrath.
Yeah, and you hear him knocking on the front door.
Susanna, open the
What do you do?
door.
So I'm going for 100 with this character.
Sure.
I clubbed the dog.
Oh, all right. I love it. All right, so
Abramovich moves towards the door and shoves Sully aside. Move aside, fool! He then
Okay.
tries to tear the door off its hinges with his one arm and 17 strength.
okay, so that's happening out front.
Clearly the one-armed man did
Give
it.
me an initiative roll there. You roll plus your
Everyone or just him?
just him. Okay, you get to go first.
Okay.
Club it at will!
So I'm gonna roll to
Yeah, roll to attack. You'd roll plus your
11.
strength.
11.
Let's see if they have provided us with stats for a poor defenseless dog.
Do I roll with
There
advantage
are,
because it's asleep?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So what was your hit?
12.
12, huh?
With advantage?
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, all right. So you leap forward and you have this little, what is it, a cudgel?
It's just a club, yeah.
You're just walking around the club as a beggar. All right. And you like whack this dog with all your might, right? And it kind of like does this and it sleep a little bit and it's like, and it opens one eye. And the eye turns and looks at you. And right then, Bildrath is coming down the steps and he's like, I'm coming. And the dog on its turn leaps up and barks at you, right?
Okay.
And Bildrath is like, turns and looks and can just barely make you out in the shadows. Your turn. What do you do? Remember that, yeah. So remember your 0 levels, like one bite from this
Absolutely not. I'm
dog.
telling
One
you.
bite from a dog.
100%. I'm going 100%.
I don't know what that means, but if you mean 100%
You've got in
dead.
to win it. I'm
Okay,
going.
okay, all
I'm in
right.
it.
Yeah.
I'm here now. I tried to hit a dog.
Okay.
That's the lowest you can go.
That is pretty low in my game, especially. I'm a dog lover.
Okay, so
You said that we dislike Bildrath, correct? Because
Yeah.
he trades with the Visani?
He's just not a very nice guy. It's not because he trades with the Vistani.
But he does trade with the
He
Vistani.
does trade mostly
and
with
we
Vistani.
have distrust with the Vistani.
Some of the people in the village do, yes.
Because not all of the Vistani are
and I feel like
But
against.
they're the only ones who bring in goods from outside because
Right,
the town
because
is not
they are blessed by the vampires.
they come in and out.
Yeah.
This is true.
I feel like I've interacted with Bildrath before because I'm a beggar.
Sure,
So like
yeah.
I probably tried to steal from him before,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. So this feels like something I've done before.
Okay, yeah.
And like the
He
dog-
has sicked his dog
like,
on you
yeah,
before.
Like
yeah,
this feels like we've had this interaction before. So
Right.
I jump at him and
What
I
do you-
attempt to swing on him.
At Bildrath?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, great.
19.
Oh my God, you hit Bildrath. Roll your damage.
He kills Bildrath.
4.
Okay, let's find out how many hit points. Luke, you got my D4? Oh wait, here we go. Let's find out how many.
If it's a D, does he get pluses?
Oh, that's right. I guess he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's dead.
we'll say he's at +1.
Oh my gosh!
He's at death's door.
He's knocked senseless, right? You leap up as high as you can. You hit him right in the
Do it
noggin.
again.
He goes down, and he's like on the floor with little birds tweeting around his head. And of course, his dog kills you.
Okay.
Oh, no, it doesn't. So his dog tries to get a bite out of your butt, right, as you land. And you, like, just manage to, like, keep your cudgel and your begging bowl between you and the dog's mouth, right? So you guys hear all this barking from inside. You hear Bildrath yell. You hear a body hit the floor. Luke, are you trying to bust the door
Yes.
open?
Listen.
All right, roll
Before
plus
that,
strength.
though,
Hold on.
Before that, though, Algernon goes, "Oh crap, that's never worked before." So
All right,
now I'm
Luke.
panicking.
That is a 13.
A 13 to bust through the door. You beat it about halfway open, but it's still holding on.
Okay.
It's definitely damaged.
Health Hassan. As soon as there's yelling going on, he's turning into guard mode. He's slamming into the door.
Okay.
11.
11. So both of you guys basically hit the door at the same time, and it smashes open.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're inside.
Do we roll into initiative?
So we're inside, and as you guys bust in, you see him. You what's your character's name?
Algernon.
You see Algernon, and he's like climbing up onto the kitchen counter, right? And he's like knocking down, like cutting boards and everything else, and he's trying to stay one step ahead of this.
And again, I feel like as a beggar, this is definitely a scenario that we've all seen before. We all know who I am. We all know what I'm about.
Right. Yes, Luke.
Okay, so Abramovich goes and like picks up Bill and like pushes him against the wall and he says, "These are dark times, Bill. Bill, if you will stand in our way, Abramovich will crush you. I am sorry it has come to this, but these are dark times. Will you help us?"
Okay, roll a d20 and add your personality modifier.
That's a 0.
Okay.
15.
Okay. He calls off his dog. He says, "Down, Fluffy, down, down. Good God, what is going on? Is the whole town decided to rob me tonight?"
Why are we robbing him? No, I don't understand. Why are we being
Things
so
have
mean
become
to this
dark these
man?
days. Wolves in the streets at night, and
on,
we
hold on.
must silver our weapons.
Why are we robbing him?
So
Algernon, how did this turn into a robbery?
this has never worked before. I came through the dog door. I've done it a billion times. He's seen me before. I thought he was just gonna deflect it. Landed right on his temple. Don't know what's going on. I was just doing it for show. Didn't think it would work.
So you guys are just here to buy some stuff.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Draft. We have a plan to break the curse over the town, yeah? And we need some information about weapons. We need to know how much is a silver weapon, for example.
Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this before on or off the recording. A week ago, a group of young people went up to storm the castle, I think about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Another outsider came. This was before Van Richten showed up. An outsider named Esmeralda was lured into the town. And she was like, "I'm going to go kill on this vampire." And a group of young people kind of got influenced by her. And they went up there and like none of them have returned. So Bildrath is like, "If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. If we leave the creature in the castle alone, it'll leave us alone. You people aren't going to do anything but get yourselves killed and stir up a bunch of trouble for the rest of us."
Then we die with weapons in hand, yeah?
I have a silver dagger that I could be convinced to part with for 10 gold pieces.
How much would you... I've got some parchment and a quill pen. Can I trade them for the dagger?
This is not even close to the same value.
How much are we missing?
I would say at least,
I've got a beggar's bowl.
I would say you're missing at least a sheep and a dozen eggs.
I have a wool cloak I'll throw in for the trade.
I've got a side of beef.
Oh!
You should have led the side of the
Sold! Who's carrying the silver dagger?
Albert!
Cross off your side of beef.
Everyone listen, and this is to the whole party. Everyone listen. If I should fall before we make it to the monster, the dagger goes with you.
I stab him. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you fell.
Like that.
Thank you for your kind contribution, sir. I will definitely
You have
get the dagger
only
of,
one silver weapon?
Yes, there's not exactly a huge market for silvered weapons in Barovia. I mean,
with all the people that go up and fight the vampire, you would think there would be.
I was going to throw in some
Have I lost my
tax-free gear.
side?
yes, you cross off your side of the
Tax-free gear.
Did you also get a silver
I could.
dagger?
I did not
could
get a
be-
silver dagger.
Why would you
could
cross
be,
off your side of the beat?
because it was everybody going in together
Okay.
to afford this very expensive silver dagger.
Persuaded.
All right.
I could be persuaded to forego some taxing for someone who was so helpful to the town.
But he wasn't. So we burn his shop down as we did.
Yeah, I guess in context, tax collector doesn't even make any sense. I guess you'll have to be a banker or something.
Oh,
Because like there's no higher power that you'd be collecting taxes for except maybe the mayor. I guess you would be collecting taxes for the
He's
burgermeister.
dead.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, son's
Ismark
dead.
is kind of the temporary.
That's right. I'm the leader.
I run this.
Oh God,
This
here he
is
goes
me.
again.
I want everybody to know
I kill the halfling.
how hard
First
Jason
of
is.
all, this is Irina, and I'm your stepsister. So
and you are the
You
one
just
who wants-
stepped though, right?
Oh,
You
God.
are the one who wants Strahd to marry.
again, here we go again.
You're always trying to marry a vampire instead of getting with me.
No, Strahd wants to marry her. She doesn't
That's
want to
what I
marry
said,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
So wait a
rather-
second, why is she
I would
gonna go?
rather
You're
die.
gonna go up there and face Strahd? You're gonna literally go up to your groom and say, "Hey, no."
It's the young people these days, man.
It's-
They just
it's-
don't understand the way
I
you're
think
supposed to do things.
I think she feels like it's better than just cowering in the mayor's house and just waiting for death. She's like, I'm gonna go and I'm a modern woman of the 14th century and I don't need no man. And I'm gonna go.
I am a strong, independent woman of Barovia. I don't need no man
There you go. Yeah.
What has given us the idea that Strahd wants to marry?
or vampire.
The Burgermaster's Manor has been a center of a lot of these attacks and stuff, right? And like Strahd came and like lured Irina out of the house and like you found her the next morning in the woods and she kind of has a little puncture mark on her neck and she's like,
Oh, she's a vampire.
oh, no, she's not a vampire.
Have we not stabbed her yet?
I want to go to the church and get some holy water.
Come at me.
Okay.
She's got holy water. We probably should take some holy water too, though, to be honest.
I mean,
Are you guys going to the church?
Yes.
we could go and we could storm the castle, or we could tie Irene up to a thing and set her on fire.
Well,
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
That-
I mean, we could like put something up there and say, "Hey, if you want to rescue her," and, then,
Yeah.
and then lure him out. We don't really have to kill you, by the way. This is just a plan to lure him
that's
out.
not a
We can.
Right, right,
There'll be
right.
fake ropes. You can undo yourself.
Right.
Have you ever seen Star Wars? You know, it won't be real. You just be able to break right out.
I mean,
I totally buy this plan.
actually,
I mean, if we get him to come to us, we can set traps.
yeah. Definitely.
Versus going up into his traps and dying.
Yeah.
I would
Go
like
to
to
church and get holy
repeat
water.
something that I have said previously. The Vistani seer, Madame Eva, is a witch and knows how to trap the creature. Maybe we should go visit her first before we make these crazy plans to use me as a human sacrifice to capture this creature. Just saying.
I mean,
Not all Vistani serve the Lord of Ravenloft. Those who defy him are protected by an ancient pact.
Yeah, all Vistani are evil. I don't know what you guys are on about. They need to be kicked out of this place. As the new burgomaster, I'm putting a strict Vistani ban on all entry.
I love the Vistani camp.
Say,
We need to go to
I
the
am,
church, though.
I am Ismark, Lord of the Barovians. Oh, really? Who are they? We all are. We are all Barovians, and I am your Burgermeister. Really? I don't remember voting for you.
Yes.
Well, my father had a heart attack after a vampire attack, and now I am your king.
Well, you see, I drew a mystical blade out of my father's body, and I became Burgermeister.
Nice. All right, so
Pulling swords out of your father. Going to same for government, based on system of government.
I hear.
The second part of this thing with the silver dagger has to be blessed by a man of faith. We need to go to the church and have a man of faith bless said dagger.
Okay, so I hear church, Vistani camp, and sacrifice Irina. Which one are we going to do first?
Sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Okay.
Irina leaves.
Not before she's sacrificed.
Not before she just-
I got 3 for church.
So we'll go to church, and then we'll.
Top 3 for church.
Okay.
I think
I'll
my 3
go church.
I think my 3 are a little biased against the Vistani, so they're going to go for church to blessed by holy man.
I agree.
Atop a slight rise, against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft, stands a gray, sagging edifice of wood and stone. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against the load. The heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. You guys go walking in?
Yes.
Or to try to.
The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading into a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 to each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within, debris, reciting a prayer. All right, so here's the deal.
I prefer the night brie.
So this is the Temple of Justitia. The head priest is Father Donovich. He has 2 acolytes, Brother Acre and Brother Hams, who are both taking vows of silence. Now, this guy, he's very puritanical looking, right? Everybody look at your phones. I just sent you a picture of Father Donovan. He's like a hardcore Puritan, hellfire preaching priest, right? And you guys have all grown up with this guy as the priest of your town, right? Very stern, and all the time, all Father Donovich talks about is how everything that's happened bad in this town is because of your sins. You guys are all sinners, and you're secretly sinning in your bedrooms and in your bathrooms and in your showers, and you need to quit with all this sin.
It ain't no secret, Daddy.
We would not have all these problems if it weren't for your sins, and you need to repent. And like while he's talking, his 2 acolytes are like whipping themselves with, cat of 9 tails and all this stuff, and he's just got the tight collar, and he's just like always preaching about sin.
Do we really need the holy weapons?
So you guys come
know
into
at
the
this
chapel,
point.
right? And he's standing up there. There's like an altar with like this kind of curtain thing behind it, and there's all the holy symbols of Justitia. There's the huge stained glass window, but the temple could obviously use some upkeep. It could use a handyman or 2. It's not in the greatest shape, but he's there, and he's standing in front of the altar, and there's a couple candles lit, and the 2 acolytes are kind of kneeling in prayer, and he's standing in front of the altar with his hand raised, looking at the stained glass as the sun is starting to come out, or at least dawn is breaking. And, he's praying in Latin to Justitia, forgivimus sinimus of the populace, masturbatorius. Father Donovich. He's praying in
Masterus
Latin.
debatus.
Yeah. MTV watches.
Harrison drops to a knee.
Okay, all right. Yeah. When he hears you, he turns around. Everybody roll an intelligence check for one of your characters.
One?
For one of your characters.
That is a
14.
17.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
15.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody notices kind of for the first time in the stained glass window, like just the way the light is hitting it. Maybe you guys have tried to avoid this place in general. A stained glass rose window overlooking the nave chapel depicts Justitia battling a lich and blessing a kneeling saint. Okay, so like there's this guy with like a mitre on, like the Pope hat, and he's like this saint, and kind of it's depicting him fighting a lich, and then but you've never noticed before, like Justitia is behind him, kind of blessing him, and you guys know
Blessing
that
the lich? Or
no,
blessing
blessing the saint.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, blessing the lich.
And like you guys never noticed that before, but you have seen a statue of that saint like in this church before. It's not on display now, but you've seen it before. So he turns and he sees this rabble coming in. Do you think any of your characters have been semi-devout followers of Justitia?
Harrison.
Johan.
Okay, Johan, Hafson.
I think Arena's been in here a couple of
As
times.
far as it goes, but only because you're supposed to.
I
By
would
the
check
way,
it out.
Irina and
Ismark.
Ismark want to bring their father's body here for a proper burial. You want him buried in the cemetery.
So we're about it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're in.
I would like to think that she's probably more about it than Ismark is. Ismark doesn't believe in this. He believes that this is bringing a curse upon us, and this guy's just hiding in his church.
okay, all right.
Oh, and doffs his helmet and
I mean, he
bows
wants
before
his father to be here
his
because that was his father's wishes, but that's the only reason.
Right.
Dabalooey!
Okay.
That sounds like him. No, my brother.
Greetings, my children. Come, let us pray and repent before the altar of the Arch-Paladin. Do you guys go in?
Hanson walks forward.
Okay. So you guys kind of come in.
Walks forward.
Okay, so you guys kind of walk in, and some people sit down in the pews, a couple people kneel down, and he keeps praying in Latin for a little while. When that is concluded, he comes over to Irina and Ismark, and he says, well, children, I was grieved to hear about your father's passing. And he makes the sign of Justitia over his forehead.
He half-heartedly does it, Ismark does.
Okay.
Arena does the full thing.
Okay. All right.
And she goes, "Thank you, Father."
So, what brings this pitchfork-wielding mob into my church?
We have come to ask you to bless this silver dagger that Hanson has in his belt to take up to kill the evil creature in the castle. Please.
Of course. You are undertaking a noble quest, although it saddens me to think that you may be killed. And right when he says killed, thunder outside, kablam! Oh, sounds like a storm's moving in. Show me the dagger. Undeadius, able to killius, plus oneius, ghost touchius.
We're really stretching on this Latin.
All right, okay, the dagger is blessed. Everybody roll another intelligence check by rolling a d20 and adding your intelligence bonus. Dang, Luke!
No.
16.
6.
Okay, so you two guys hear a voice from the basement. Like, you hear a clatter in the basement, like somebody knocked over a frying pan kind of thing. And then, like, you hear a voice cry out, like,
What was that?
well, I suppose you'll want to continue on your quest. Be blessed, children, be blessed. Everybody roll plus your charisma modifier.
Personality?
Personality modifier, thank you.
This one.
10.
10.
5. Even
Okay.
with a +3.
Oh, wow, okay. Okay, so did you guys want to try to buy holy water, get holy water from him, or do you guys leave?
Arena asks for some additional holy water for the group.
Well, he seems obviously disturbed. Yes, wait here. And he hurries off, like, to the vestry.
You said the two guys that are his acolytes are Ham and who?
Aker. A-K-A-R, A-K-E-R, and Hams. Brother Aker and Brother Hams. They have taken vows of silence. Yes.
Okay, while he's gone, Abramovich is gonna try and like get into the basement to see who's making noise down there.
Ah, love it.
No clue.
Oh, yes.
What's the priest name again?
Brother Donovich.
Algernon would join him just as a.
Abramovich does not placate
You can't
the
see
holy
him.
men.
Oh, he's a holy man. What? Algernon's not a holy man.
All right, so there is Luke and one of your characters, right?
Yeah, Algernon.
Move them back towards the back of the church.
Nice.
And now both of them need to make a luck check. This is where you roll a d20 and try to get your luck or less. Not your luck
Easy.
bonus.
Got my luck or less.
Okay?
Got my luck or less.
Okay, perfect. So neither of the acolytes notice you guys. You guys have been in the church before, right? And you know where the door to the basement is, and it's back there kind of towards the back of the church. So you guys go over there, and the door has like a little latch thing, like on this side, right?
So it's locked from this side?
Yes. Well, it's barred from this side, right? It's not actually locked. So you guys open that up to look in there?
Yep.
Excellent. Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh.
You guys open the door, and immediately, like as soon as you pull the latch, the door like slams open, and this horribly deformed vampire spawn kind of guy comes charging out to murder you to death.
11.
And even worse, you recognize him as Doru, which is Brother Donovich's adopted son.
Oh no.
He's like this younger man,
That explains why.
and
he
he's
didn't
like
want
all
anyone to-
vamped out. He's got the eyes, and like they do in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when you vamp out.
Okay.
All right, so the door slams open in your face, and this vampirized young man comes leaping out at you with a howl. Luke, what do you do?
So he like jumps out at me and I like grab him. I like draw my cleaver and like slash at his throat as he's like jumping at me.
Okay, roll an attack.
Okay, I got a. That's a 3. Don't even. I'm not.
Okay. What do your other two characters do?
Johann von Generico. This.
Johann von Generico jumps forth with his broadswords. Also roll.
Whoa. He's all the way over here, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he's okay.
So he can move about 6 squares.
He has a 35.
So he can move about 7 squares.
15.
Hey, why'd you move my dwarf?
Oh wait, that's not mine. Oh, whoops, sorry.
Yeah, yours have black on the top.
This one's mine. Sorry.
Okay. What's your other character do?
And Rudolph
He's gonna jump up on one of the pews.
and draw his dagger.
Okay, make him roll a.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, he's a 0 level, man.
17.
Okay, he's fine. He gets up there with a flourish. Michael, what do you do?
All three?
Yes.
All three will heal, advance, draw sword for 5, 10, 15, 20, and heal. Thus is this. 1, 2, 3.
Where did Brother Donovan run off to?
He went back into the vestry, which is off to one side of the altar, to get you guys some holy water. So he's off in a separate room over here.
Okay.
None of my guys are cowards.
All right, this thing's gonna try to. Who's got the halfling?
I do.
Okay, it's gonna try to attack the halfling. Well, actually, Luke's character was in front. It's gonna try to attack Luke's character. Yes, man.
Took a swing at it.
Okay, we're playing a funnel. Do not get attached. Rule number 1. Well, you shouldn't have been, because rule number 1:
to
don't
be
get
fair,
attached.
I'm
We
only
did.
attached to the NPC.
Oh, it only does 1 point of damage. So this thing latches onto you with its claws, right? It's actually got you grappled. Its claws dig into your shoulders, and its mouth is headed towards your throat. Jason, what do your characters do?
Freak out in terror. Ah!
Okay.
And then,
Oh,
well, that's 2 of them. This guy, Ismark, is going to go.
Ismark?
He's going to run back to the find the priest.
oh, it's gonna run to go get the
He's going to
priest.
go get the
Okay.
holy water
Smart.
from the priest.
Okay.
He's like, priest, there's a
Are those the
vampire in your thing.
other creatures?
No, those are statues of Justicia. Yeah, I don't have minis for the two brothers. They freak out, but they have a vow of silence, so they're like, and then they cover their mouths, yeah, because they're not allowed to yell.
So clearly they didn't
Carl.
look like they knew about this.
Roll plus your intelligence, or maybe your personality.
Well, which one? 'Cause I got personality.
Whichever
for
one's
days.
better.
12.
You can't tell.
I'm gonna shoot. Arena is going to try and attempt to shoot him with her crossbow. I have.
They are.
I have like I can do
Yeah,
that.
okay. Now, you are 0 level, and it is grappling another person. He's like grabbing him. So if you
Oh,
roll badly
before-
enough, you're
no.
definitely going to shoot Luke's character in the back.
Great.
Before I do
Yeah.
He
do
has
it.
17 strength.
that,
Weak if you don't.
before I do that, actually, I want Algernon to attempt to take his beggar's bowl and put it in its mouth, in the vampire's mouth.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Make an attack roll. With strength or dex, whichever one is better.
That's a great idea.
15.
Okay. Is this your halfling?
And
Yeah.
the bowl in
Yeah,
its
so
mouth.
you have to be a little acrobatic, but you like reach up there and like jam the bowl in its mouth so that it can't bite. Who's it? Johan?
No, my Abramovich.
Abramovich.
I thought they were coming down. I thought they were grappled. So I thought.
Am I
Well, they're still standing. It's grappling you with its hands and it's trying to bite you with its mouth. So now it's got something in its mouth. It's gonna have to let you go or try something else to get this bowl out of its mouth.
Okay, the only other thing I could do would be to have Arena attempt to shoot him with a crossbow, but I don't think I want to do that now.
Okay. Did your other characters move, or do you have any
Yes,
other characters?
everyone's moved. I'm good.
Okay. Who's red?
Me.
Oh, so your other guys are just freaking out? Okay.
They did move up a little bit.
Luke, what do you do?
Abramovich, I wish he had 2 arms now. I thought it would be super cool to have a 1-armed character. Abramovich is gonna try to like get the vampire's hands off and then like headbutt him as hard as he can.
I love it. Okay. So first of all, make a strength check just to get out of the grapple.
14.
You're out.
Great. And then I'm gonna do a headbutt. Should I just roll a regular attack strength check?
Sure.
Great. Nat 20!
No freaking way. He got a crit.
I'm about to say
Yeah,
I was just like getting ready to let him double
With
his.
0 levels?
Of course.
Okay.
There's even a table.
I'm
for,
not saying no. I'm just asking the question. That's all.
There's even a table for 0 levels.
Yeah.
Crit table 1 is for 0 level characters and all wizards. It really is. Roll a d6.
Great. 5.
Solid torso strike. Inflict an additional d6 of damage with this strike.
An additional 10 damage.
10 damage?
I got a
You did
chest
10 damage?
somehow.
So you pull his hands off of you, you grab him, and you give him the most devastating headbutt in the history of headbutts. You hit him so hard, there's like this awesome sound effect that all the subs in the theater go off when you're like, zoom, and you hit him in the head, and he like goes tumbling to where he's about to fall backwards back down the steps, and he is badly hurt in his vampiric heart. What do your other 2 characters do?
Great. Johan Von Generico to your rescue. Johan is going to try to stab with his longsword.
Okay.
A 19 plus his mods is
That's a hit.
20. Okay, great. The 8 plus his strength, which is +1. That is 5 points of damage.
Okay, well, he's dead.
Johan Von Generico has slain the vampire spawn.
And I didn't even get to kill any 0 levels in the process.
Ismark is running into the back.
Yeah. So Donovich is running to the front, right? Like you guys collide with each other in the doorway to the vestry.
Did you know you have a vampire in your church?
He's like pushing you out of the way.
Fool!
What
What evil have you brought into this holy place?
You don't have time for that whole speech because he pushes you out of the
We
way.
ran into each other. I've got plenty of time.
He pushes you out of the way.
We're
does
grappled
6
right
damage
now.
to you and kills you
Right,
instantly.
yeah, that's 2 damage.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is
Pushing you out of the
DCC.
way. Doru! My beloved Doru, no, don't hurt him! Don't hurt him! It's not his fault! And he's like running back, he's pushing past all you guys. He gets to the head of the stairs, and he kind of kneels down, he's grabbing his son's lifeless body. He's like, no, my precious boy, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. And here's where you notice, as he's kind of clutching his son, his robe falls back a little bit, and you can see he's got like these bandages wrapped around his forearms. And all this stuff, and the 2 acolytes are just kind of standing there with these hopeless looks on their faces, obviously not saying anything because they're sworn to silence. He's like, get out, all of you. Jason, you do notice there's a water skin full of holy water there where he collided with you.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking that.
Okay, do you guys get out?
No, I first go. You are in league with the vampires. How could you betray your people like this? This is why you have no parishioners right now. Because you are in league with Strahd.
He sets down the body and he turns to you, and there's fire in his eyes. You know nothing, you heathen. He could have been saved. It wasn't too late for him. You killed an innocent boy. Get out.
I have killed no one. You have harbored a vampire. You have forsaken your holiness.
No.
Ham!
No. It wasn't too late for. Where are you trying to go with this? Like, what are
I'm
you
trying to get
do?
his disciples to come with me. I need holy people to go up there and destroy this evil. Your leader has fallen in league with him. Look at how it has brought him low.
No, they're just trying to get you to leave.
How could you, Father? We trusted you.
He wasn't hurting anyone. He wasn't hurting anyone. It wasn't too late for him.
That's why he came out and immediately attacked us, because he wasn't hurting us.
You shouldn't have interfered.
You should have told us.
Arena approaches him and goes, Father, why did you tell no one of this? We could have helped you.
I was ashamed. He went with the others to the castle, and he came back like this.
Wait.
He was the only one. I don't know what happened to the others. I don't know.
He didn't tell you anything.
He was too scared. I don't know what happened.
Together.
I don't know what happened to him in the castle. I don't know, Irina. We're all doomed. And he starts crying. You guys leave?
Yes.
Your own sins brought this upon you.
Arena offers her condolences.
Okay.
And apologizes.
Yes. Okay.
Spit on his boy as I walk away.
Nice.
Burgermeister!
adding insult to injury to injury.
I didn't kill his kid. That was that one right over there with a 1200 headbutt.
That's true. That's true.
Apparently, normal weapons do work on this regular dudes.
How about that?
Hey, wait a second. Do we still? We don't believe that normal weapons work on this. Burn his body. Why are we letting you just hold body? We need to burn this. He will rise again and kill.
You gonna go back into the church and try to get?
I feel like we should as a mob.
Yes.
Oh wait, I wanted to be like, as Arena, just like, from what I understand, like talking to the father, from what I understand, normal weapons don't work on vampires.
I told you he hadn't turned yet. He could still be saved.
I was more just going to try and convince him that they needed to burn the body.
Yeah, he agrees to burn the body. He's obviously deeply in mourning, but
He's distraught. This man is nothing on the floor.
yeah. He agrees to burn the body, and him and his acolytes will make a pyre
Okay. Cool.
to make sure that this evil is cleansed and that his son's soul goes to heaven.
Abramovich will be back to ensure his cleansing, I guess.
Why does Abramovich talk in the third person?
Why did Abramovich say, I guess? He wasn't sure.
Well,
Abramovich not sure.
he might die, so, he doesn't make
Abramovich not
promises.
sure about course of action.
Abramovich likes to keep Abramovich's options open. So he's
Abramovich can't make promises till at least level 1.
right. Abramovich is hedging his bets. Okay. Now, you guys have about 3 doses of holy water. You got a silver dagger. You've done everything except meet with the Vistani.
Yeah,
Do you go there, or do you go straight to the castle?
No, let's go meet with the
Irina
Vistani. We need
goes
everything
to
we can
the
get. We're
Vistani.
0 levels.
Okay. Even though Ismark does not trust the Vistani, right?
Not like the Vistani.
Burner doesn't like it very much
Abramovich
either.
believes this is racist.
Okay.
By the way, I feel like Irina rolls her eyes a lot when
Just let you
her
know,
brother talks.
Hassan is going to become your protector
Um,
until he dies. I know you don't need a man, but Hassan is a town guard.
Listen,
and
I don't need
you are
no
the highest
man.
ranking female in the whole world right now, so he's going to protect
In
you.
his whole
That's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying this is a relationship thing. This is
Irina
his
don't
duty.
need no man,
This is
but she
Hassan's
does
duty.
appreciate help. She also understands she can't do everything by herself and will at points need allies.
The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds roiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around the bonfire. A footpath continues around the encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge. So, tents, wagons, larger tent, people gathered around the fire, playing the accordion, brightly dressed, travelers, not a cultural stereotype. Do you guys go walking up?
Ishmark will walk up, but he'll stay kind of towards the back. He wants little to do with these.
I feel like Irina has
Filthy
tried
people.
to have talks with the
Vistani?
Vistani before,
Uh-huh.
and so she attempts to approach.
Okay. So the music kind of stops and a couple of people turns your way, and sort of mid-30s guy kind of gets up and walks over to you, and he's like, "Welcome to our camp, friends. What brings so many villagers this far from town?"
We are attempting to go to the castle, Ravenloft, to free ourselves of the lord of the castle.
We will slay Strahd. It is our only quest.
That's a simpler way of putting what I just said, but yes.
It was fated that you would visit our humble camp. Madam Eva foretold your coming. She awaits you.
Sure she does, to send us to our doom.
Do each of you pick one character to go in?
Sure.
If she goes in, he's going in.
Okay.
Irina goes.
It does. You don't have to worry about it, guys. So
Only
each of you,
one?
each of you have a character go inside.
Okay.
Right.
The ones who remain outside, one of the Stanny tells a tale. I have a story to tell all of you. Stanimir fills his mouth with wine and then spits it into the fire. The flames turn from orange to green. As they dance and sway, dark shapes appear in the bonfire's core. We came from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten. a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. Dark shapes in the fire take the form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. Stanimir continues. One night a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine. He survived, and when we asked who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back towards his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell on us like wolves. Deep in the bonfire, you see the dark figure standing with his sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect us as we protected him. He bore us safely to his home, and we thanked him. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish and leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers. Stanimir's face becomes a somber mask. A curse has befallen our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain. We've traveled far and wide to find heroes such as yourselves. We've traveled far and wide to find heroes that may be able to end our dread lord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, Madam Eva, knows all. She will tell your friends the secrets of the creature.
So, you are in league with it.
Did you not just hear my whole story where I explained that he has fallen under a curse and we're looking for someone to put him to rest?
I heard it, it's just a question of do I believe it?
I don't know. Do you believe it?
No.
The magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice cracks like dry weeds. At last you have arrived! Crackling laughter burst like mad lightning from her withered lips. Come, sit around the crystal ball and I will read your fortunes. What do?
I said,
Ulysses.
When you're describing your character's actions, you don't have to do the character voice.
I will always do my character voice, even if it's for the most generic of things.
Okay. She has this deck of worn Taroka cards, right? And she shuffles them as she's looking each of you over. And like she does the thing where she greets each of you by name, even though she shouldn't know your names. And she says, I have foretold your coming and know of your quest. I will read your fortunes in the cards. She sets the cards out in this weird little pattern, right? And she points to the first card, which she turns over, and it's the Hanged Man, okay? She said, this card tells of the lord of the castle. Ah, I see evil and darkness upon this card. He who dwells in Castle Ravenloft is a powerful man, whose enemy is light, and whose powers are beyond mortality. You will seek him in the castle, and though you may face him many times, it is here that you will prevail or perish. You will find him atop a dizzying height that all are loath to climb. She turns over the next card. This is the root card. Out of darkness and chaos, this card finds its reason, its foundation. It shows the purpose of all things, the key to life and death, and all else beyond. She turns the card over. It is the Eight of Wands. Ah, the darkness desires a light. Death seeks warmth from the living. She points at another card. This is a card of great strength. It tells of a powerful force for good and protection against the forces of darkness. She turns the card over, and it's the 10 of Cups. She says, darkness was born from light. Seek this, where that light lies dead. She points to the next card. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient and knowledge of this land may help you understand your foe. She turns the card over, and it is the 3 of Stars. A tome of vital lore lies on the throne of an ancient king. She turns over the final card. It's the Empress. This card is good for you. It's a card of hope in the midst of terror, of victory unlooked for. The Dark Lord has a weakness, a blade of light, a weapon of vengeance. Seek it among the ancient lore of the castle. Go! Lightning strikes outside. You guys go?
Yep.
Okay. And we will pick up there next time on Mighty Deeds.
You've been listening to Mighty Deeds, a production of the Murfreesboro Murder Hobo Old School Gaming Association. We're playing Dungeon Crawl Classics from Goodman Games, with additional rules from Tales from the Fallen Empire by James Capio and Transylvanian Adventures from Scott Mathis. Our current campaign is set in Fritz Lieber's World of Nawa. Tonight's adventure is inspired by the original Ravenloft module, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman and published by TSR Hobbies in 1983. Additional inspiration comes from Doom of the Savage Kings by Harley Stroh and Curse of Strahd by Wizards of the Coast. Original music for Mighty Deeds is provided by yours truly and by Joey Hodge. Check out more of his music at joeyhodge.com. If you like what you're hearing, please spread the word about the podcast on social media and rate and review us on iTunes. And join us next time for more Mighty Deeds.
Nobody knows what I'm doing?
Nope, not at all.
Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder made a movie called Young Frankenstein. They shot it all in black and white.
Interesting.
It's hilarious. So he comes walking out.
Cut this part out.
Pause podcast.
Pause podcast.
Do you put that up here?
Every time I make this sound, bing, pause podcast. Bing. That wasn't me.
Yeah.